In Dota 2, certain heroes are stronger than others. How do you know which heroes are strong at a given time? Well, there's a pretty easy way. My name's Navetz. I'm representing my esports team, the Sploush Troupe, and I'm going to quickly show you how you can find out which picks are meta picks. So I'm exiting this draft. I just had it on to make it look cool in the background. And I'm going to bring us straight over to Dota Buff. So for those of you who have never been to Dota Buff before, it is a website that has a lot of information and statistics about Dota and the current Dota 2 meta. So there is a meta tab right here that you can click on. Now the meta tab will by default show you which picks are the strongest in the bottom three medal brackets. I do not suggest that you look at the bottom three medal brackets for when you are trying to improve. I would suggest you look 2 to 3 medal brackets ahead of you to see what players who are significantly better than you are doing. So the way this works is you take a look at the pick rate and the win rate. Now, how do we find out which heroes are picked the most, and then how do we find out which heroes win the most? So for most people, ancient bracket's probably a good point to start looking at. If you really want to see what the top of the top pros are doing, you might want to look at the pick rates and win rates in Divine and Immortal, but I think ancient bracket's a pretty good baseline. So we take a look here, and we can see that right now, Snapfire is the highest pick rate hero, but not the highest win rate hero. If we look a little bit farther down the list, Drow is also has a very high pick rate, but has a slightly higher win rate. Now let's think about why this might be. Traditionally, it's usually because one hero probably plays more roles than another hero. So Snapfire can play position 4 and 5, and sometimes 3, although I don't recommend it. Whereas Drow Ranger is usually a safe lane carry and rarely played mid. You've got other heroes like Puck, who are pretty high on the list. She can play a lot of different, or the fairy can play a lot of different positions. And then you've got your all-around heroes like Vengeful Spirit. So if you take a look in the Divine and Immortal bracket, the heroes with the highest pick rate right now at this time are Treant, Puck, and Snapfire. At the Ancient bracket, we have Snapfire, Pudge, and Treant Protector. Now, Pudge does not have a win rate over 50%. So let's discuss why that might happen. You have heroes who don't have high pick rates because they're or high win rates because they're just fun to play. Like, that's it. The only reason you pick these heroes most of the time is because they're crazy fun to play. So don't get pulled into that trap. If you're trying to gain MMR, I hate to say this, but you can't think about which heroes are going to be fun. You have to think about which heroes are going to win you the game. So that is how you find heroes that are in the meta or could be in the meta. Now let's take a look and take this one step farther and just look at win percentage, because then you get into an interesting zone here, especially in the Divine and Immortal brackets. And let's talk about what that means. So the highest win rate hero is Meepo. Meepo at the moment, but he only has a 5.19% pick rate. Why would that be? Why does Lycan only have a 2.86% pick rate when he has a 55% win rate? Or 55.87% win rate. The reason for this is because usually the hero is higher in complexity to play or requires more skill. So if you notice that 4 of these heroes right here, aside from Vengeful, who is just crazy strong right now and has a super high pick rate as well. Like this is when Ice Frog says, "Fuck, I gotta nerf something." Like this is indication of a nerf being needed. But anyways, these other heroes, they all have some kind of they all have a more difficult mechanic to go through. So these ones all control creeps, and then you get down to a hero like Huskar or Visage, who is also at a very high win percentage, but a very, very, very low low pick percentage. So Visage is exceptionally hard to know when to pick, because there's heroes that you can pick into certain drafts and they're phenomenal, but if you pick them against other drafts, they don't do so hot. If you pick a Meepo into a team as your 10th pick and they do not have a counter for Meepo, things go really well for you. Another example of that is probably Broodmother. Yep, right here. So at a 53.93% win rate, Broodmother win rate, she only gets picked 2.86% of the time. Now this means that usually these heroes are going to be your last picks on safe lane or mid, and they're going to be difficult to play most likely, but not just because they have difficulties in terms of having to micro multiple units. Some of them have very specific timings and play styles that you need to know how to play. But let's go over a summary one more time and show you one more cool thing that you can check out in the Dota statistics meta, and that is the game impact, kills, goals, assists, deaths, and gold and experience. So you can check out which heroes are the best in terms of GPM and all of these different available factors. So if we take a look which one has the highest gold per minute, it makes sense that it's Alchemist because he has a spell that gives him higher gold per minute. If we say who is second on that list, makes sense that it's Meepo. You can run 4 Meepos around the map and farm everything. Third on that list, makes sense that it's Arc Warden. He gets a Tempest double, goes around the map farming multiple creep waves, and buys farming items for the whole game, and then so on and so on. So these things kind of make sense, and if you want to gauge how you're supposed to play some of the heroes that you like, take a look at some of these statistics and take a look at how higher medals than you perform on average. So if you want to see if you're doing well or not, you can take a look at your gold per minute as Alchemist in the ancient bracket right here, and you can see, okay, on average they get 776 gold per minute. I'm getting 680. Obviously I'm doing something wrong in terms of my farm. Let's analyze my replay and let's figure out what I'm doing wrong. One last thing to say about picking meta heroes is that you can't just pick any meta hero because you know that it's good in the meta. Sometimes there's a hero that's good in the meta but is not in your hero pool yet, and if you just try to pick a hero because it's supposed to be good, you're probably going to end up losing the game because you just don't know how to play that hero. You should take a second, watch a replay or two, maybe watch a stream with somebody playing that hero, get an idea of how it goes, maybe get an unranked game in, and then give that hero a shot in ranked. If you just try to pick up a hero like Treant Protector because you think it's supposed to be good and you see that everyone's playing it, you're going to be one of the people that are bringing the win rate down. Some of these heroes are actually better than what they appear because there's so many people who are playing them, but because so many people are playing them, a lot of people are only doing it because they see other people doing it and they don't know how to do it. So if you're playing a hero that you don't know how to play and you think is really good but is not, but you have like no idea how to play, what items to buy, you're not going to do well with that hero. Okay guys, I would like to thank you for checking out that quick short little video on how to know which heroes are in the meta and which heroes to pick. My name is Navetz, representing my esports team, the Sploush Troupe. I'm going to try to make a lot more videos related to Dota over the next few months, so I will see you again shortly. Thank you very much. Goodbye.